Push the button.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NXT Losas. You know, the sexiest NXT review show out there in the land. My name is Mikey El Jefe of BC Wrestle Pod, and I'm joined this evening once again with El Blanquito, the Pleat Father himself, the Kilt Man in the building. So,
Hello.
hello. So, we are here once again to cover another episode of NXT, specifically the Tuesday, August 4th edition of NXT. And I gotta say, this was a pretty good one. This was a lot of fun, really good stuff, lots of things happening, and we are building towards Heat Wave coming up here in a couple of weeks, so that should be a lot of fun. Before we get into the episode, though, as you already know, before get into it too deeply, you know where to find us going live here on BC Wrestle Pod. You can check out our main YouTube channel for the edited review tomorrow morning or afternoon, whatever the time zone is. We have our socials at BC Wrestle Pod, merch store, coffee to help us pay for pay-per-views, you name it, everything is there. Alrighty, let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about. Because again, we're setting up some stuff. We have some people moving on up, as the Jeffersons once told me a long time ago. So let's let's get into it, shall we? Because we wasted no time this episode, and we're gonna get into this really quickly. We open up NXT with a tag team match. Of course, this is Miss Jada Parker and Thea Hale taking on Natty's disciples, if you will, and Miss Carmen Petrovich and Miss Nikita Lyons, who is the current Women's Evolve champion, which we love to see. All I have to say is this: I am so happy that we're finally letting Jada and Thea do something. One, number two, they work really well together as a team, and I love them together as a team. And number three, the most important part, thank God NXT gave them the win, because Thea and Jada were racking up these losses for the last month or two, and picked it up though. So I was like, thank God Jada and Thea won.
Indeed. I'm tired of seeing Miss Parker lose. I'm tired of seeing Dad lose. She calls herself Dad. I can't even figure it out. Although, if you do like her, you like Thea when she does, send her koozies. She really likes beer koozies. I don't want. Stay. I shifted my chair and my whole desk went, fuck you. Did it again. Doesn't help that there's like a little box under my desk so I can raise my feet up. Trying to think what else is there. It was okay. This was relatively fun. I did enjoy the match. It was going back either way. Obviously, it didn't make the other two looks. The only thing that made anyone look bad, although it's part of the story writing, is when Natty and her disciples or her naturals decided, because they're Natty's naturals, kind of like who was it? Oh God, I forgot his. I think it's like Slither's big naturals. Anyway, moving forward, we're gonna go away from that for a little bit. Jumped Thea and Jada at the end of it, after the bell rang, and I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of messed up and kind of wimpy. What a bunch of posers. But whatever. Moving along, because they beat the crap out of them, and then we went to the next match, the next
yeah. Thing. Well, of course it did, and then it should also be noted that Natty tried to hit Jada, but Jada got out of the way, and Natty accidentally hit Nikita as part of it too. So this is not over between these girls, and I'm okay with that. But like Kilt said, we do keep moving the show forward, because quickly backstage, Miles Bourne is cracking jokes, and Tavion Heights is just like, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna do if we can't get these tag team championships, dude. So I need you to take.
Bro, I'm in my sexy kimono. Come on now, we gotta get this locked in.
So I was a little worried here, because I was just like, oh Lord, if they don't win, like this could end badly.
Yeah, it's gonna be very bad.
It's gonna end badly. We're gonna put a pin in that though, because at this point in the show, I'm worried for these babies, but we're gonna talk about them a little bit later. Because right now, bro,
look, it's Tony D, bitch face,
still hate his name, Cruz.
Cruz Montana. I don't like the Montana. I don't mind the Cruz. I don't like the Montana because it reminds me of a white football player.
We could have come up with a different name, but at this point,
it could have kept it Santana. It could have been Cruz Santana.
Seriously, but you know what? We don't work for WWE, so
yeah,
whatever. So there is a lot that happened here. So let's break this down really quickly. So Tony D'Angelo comes out, and you know what? He just calls out Grayson Waller. He's just like, we ain't gonna do all this nonsense and whatnot. So he calls Grayson out. Grayson comes out and fires back with the promo, where he simultaneously gives props to Tony and also a backhand compliment too. But basically, Grayson is still on what he said. It's just like, NXT is more relevant now, and it's just like, it was SummerSlam weekend, and the one thing that everybody was talking about was Grayson Waller's promo. I'm like, no, they weren't. Okay, Grayson. I was like, debatable, but you know what? It works for the story we're telling. He gives props to Tony talking about how, you're out here, call me out. I love that. And you're better than you're already better, 10 times better than the rest of the locker rooms who got onto their phones to tweet about everything. But he still calls Tony D'Angelo a bitch and telling him that you had a week and that's the best you could come up with. I was just like, oh, Grayson's really going into this. But then he's interrupted by Cruz. And Cruz, as we all know, for him to be like, calls out Grayson. Him first he addresses Tony, talking about how they can finish what they started, and then calls out Grayson. And essentially, what this all leads to is that Robert Stone would make it official for next week. Grayson Waller and Cruz Montana would compete next week in a number one contenders match, and winner will go on to face Tony D'Angelo at Heatwave, is what I'm assuming.
That is based off of what I recall, accurate. I'm going to be in house next week, so yay! We'll see how things go.
Love to see it.
I do too. So, I love being at the PC. So much fun.
It is. So it seems that this is, for the fall at least, this is going to be our NXT title picture, which I'm trying to figure out. I was just like, what happened to Naraku? Is he okay? Like, we just, after that street fight, it's just like, bam, we're done. It's like, oh, okay.
My assumption is the man is taking some time off and potentially spending it with his beautiful wife.
Potentially, yes. So we get a number one contenders match next week. More on that to come next week. But right now, let's keep going. Some other people that are having some anxiety hit backstage is Ren. So Ren finds herself in this predicament, and she's worried that she's not going to be able to keep this championship, but Kendall Gray is there to give her some words of encouragement and to tell her that she's got this, which leads into our second match. Ren won by this hair of her chinny chin chin.
She did. That was, it was. What's funny is she technically didn't win per se.
She made it to the time limit timer. And because of the way that the Speed Championship works, she made it to the end of the time limit, so therefore she retains the championship, which means that Ren has earned a shot at Zarya's North American Championship, because that was the stipulation that was made last week by Robert Stone in the offices, which is going to be fun. And I'm going to be less complaining, but I still don't understand. I was just like, this is what we're doing with Zarya's run. What is going on right now?
I mean, I like the fact that they're throwing basically anybody at her that wants to go at her. I know, she's big. She's a powerhouse. She's just amazing regardless. She's a great wrestler. She does need a little work on the mic, but she's going to be phenomenal. And I have a feeling that after things progress, if she loses this title, she's probably going to go after the next one. And then, honestly, if they don't push her for the NXT Women's Championship, they should just go ahead and bump her up. And sorry, I get distracted because I happen to look over at our vertical screen and I'm like, I'm nowhere in frame. Oh, hello. And I'm being, and I'm just looking at him like, she's gonna go great. She's amazing. She's a powerhouse. She's a great wrestler. I'm excited to see what she's gonna do in the current, in her current reign, as well as also, going forward in the rest of her career. Because I have a feeling she's going to be, one of those names like La Primera, who returned on Monday to Raw, and like Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. She's going to be a stable name, and I'm excited. But with this unique opportunity with a Speed Championship, I think it was great because, you could have potentially have had her as a double champ right then and there, but also having her not beat the timer with the pin doesn't make Zarya look weak. It makes Ren looks good. It makes Zarya look good. and I think this will actually it's a good bit of storytelling. Now, as long as they don't fucking follow, slow burns, we'll be
I
alright.
just I just want this to be a substantial feud for Zarya. I don't want this to be a 3-week feud and then it's done and over with and it's on to the next one. I'm like, okay, as long as this develops into something substantial for both of them, because right now I'm just like, okay, lots of moving parts right now. Hopefully we'll get more clarity as we go on. But like I said, Kendall making it to the end of the timer. Not only does she retain her women's speed championship, but she gets a shot at Zarya's North American title down the line as well. So can't complain about that. I swear, man, OTM better not be breaking up because I will cry. But there is some tension between the OTM boys after everything that happened last week in their match against against Birthright. So everything is just out of whack because the Broncos like, yo, man, Lucian, I'm sorry, I owe you one. You know what? I took my eye off the prize and everything. And Lucian's getting real tired of where Broncos loyalties lie, man. Because every time Los Perros de Mal get involved, man, it's like he always has to be hung out to dry. And so Birthright comes in and they talk about everything. They talk about, oh, we won, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, fine, we're going to fight you. I'll fight any one of you next week. And so potentially getting a match next week. So I don't know, man. There's tension in out the mud. And I'm like, OTM, man, I hope we don't break the mud because we really need these tag teams.
Yeah, it's a I don't know. It feels forced. Um, like I love the Broncos going down to AAA and knocking out stuff with Perros de la Mar. Excuse me.
Mal and not Mar. That's totally two different things.
Malo. Okay, no, sorry. Oh,
I was like,
I have
Pedos de
I have
Mod
a
is
funny
next to
joke about Malo.
Dogs.
I don't, dude. I forget their names often. It's hard for me. There's a new team. It's hard for me to remember. Give me a year, because I probably won't remember it then either. Anywho, um, now I'm loving that he's getting that angle. I hate that it's breaking up OTM before before they're able to move on from NXT. I would prefer the breakup to happen not necessarily organically, but like one's going one way and the other wants to go the other way, so that's why they split. But they're still homies. We can that's how I would prefer it. But obviously they want a different storyline, so this is the way they're doing it. And honestly, anyone in Birthright really does, except for what's funny is everyone in Birthright, with the exception of Charlie Dempsey, need to have themselves get punched square in the mouth. And the only reason I say Charlie Dempsey doesn't need to get punched in the mouth is he doesn't fucking talk. He just stands there and looks like he has to be there, and he's annoyed that he's there. I'm like, dude, work on your stage presence, my guy.
I don't know, but yeah, Bronco gonna take on one of the members of Birthright next week. So I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. But moving on though. So Kalani Jordan talks to Grayson Waller, which then has Grayson Waller talk to Mason Rook, who's not too happy about what Grayson had to say about the NXT locker room. And as he's about to challenge Grayson to a match, Cam Hendrick comes in and attacks Mason. And so Cam and Mason brawl to end the segment. So we are finally moving the legs along to what these two should have been doing weeks ago, but for whatever reason, we didn't get there.
Yeah. Kalani, bitch, 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 bitch. But all about me, all about me, all about me, all about me. No one cares, Kalani. Please. Can creative move away from this woe is me, pick me, girl attitude for Kalani, please, because holy crap, it's doing her a disservice. She's an amazing, talented wrestler. She can have good skills in the mic, but you're handing her a pick me attitude, and it's annoying. It's not good TV to watch. Also, Grayson Waller is a little bit. Actually, I said this the other day. I'm like, what did I say? I said, Grayson, why don't you go Waller yourself off the set? Because when he was standing up top in the inside, I'm like, just go Waller yourself off. Walk. I know it's dumb. It's weak. I have better ones.
Damn, Kilt. This is like, listen, Grayson's annoying, but I don't think he's gotten to that level where he needs to pull a Soul Ruka and jump off the thing. Like, I was like, no.
Yeah, more like, but no, I wasn't really like saying walk off, like, do the 2-step off that pier, just get off the set completely, like go bye.
Like, go get a sandwich.
You go get a sandwich. Go back to catering or crafty or whatever the heck you want to call it.
I disagree, man. I know you weren't here during Grayson's original run in NXT, but Will was here for that iteration, and we actually really dug Grayson in NXT. I just hope this time they do something with him, because main roster still makes me big mad that they haven't done anything with him.
Yeah.
But also, WWE, man, they never follow up, so I'm like, whatever.
Well, the only thing I have to complain about is he also did a promo outside in that fucking hoodie. It's August in Florida. Right now, it's probably still in the 80s with 80% humidity.
Gross.
Like, mother trucker, what are you trying to do? Get yourself heat stroke?
Please keep yourself safe.
No, what's funny is I'm actually right. It is 80 degrees outside with 85% humidity. And it's 8:51 at night.
Anywho, so Cam and Mason is set at some point. We're going to see when that is. Next up, though, yes, all is right in the world. So NXT Tag Team Championship match, Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights taking on the Vanity Project boys. This is a really good match. I'm not even going front. This is a really solid match between all four boys. And what makes this even better is we have new tag champs. Miles is a double champ, and Tavion finally got his first championship gold here in NXT. So I'm like, interesting choice of making Miles a double champion, but at the same time, thank goodness.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm loving the fact that this is, Tavion's first gold. It's well deserved. He's been phenomenal. I'm loving his social media presence right now. I'm loving his clap back to fucking Grayson Waller was, "Hey man, I'm in the gym. Where are you? I'm at work working out. Where are you? You ain't here." But I'm great. Tavion is going to be amazing, and I think these guys, they'll probably be a short championship, but more than likely, it's going to be a good short championship. It probably will pass over in Heat Wave. If not Heat Wave, then probably the next one, which I can't remember off the top of my head what's after Heat Wave.
Usually after Heat Wave, it's No Mercy.
Okay. So then more than likely.
Yeah, because it goes, I believe it goes, it goes Heat Wave, No Mercy, Halloween Havoc, and then Deadline.
Okay. Then it will be a grand time had by us. But yeah, this was so much fun to watch. I'm so happy that Tavion and Miles won. I still find it hilarious that whenever somebody's talking to Miles' back, he turns around and is like, "Man, I can't hear you, right?"
It's hilarious.
Oh, I love that he's hard of I don't know if he's fully deaf or he's partially hard. Actually, one of the things I do absolutely love about Miles is he left a note for Stephanie Vaquer at home, saying, "Hey, I love how much you progress and how much you're working, how strong you are, and blah blah blah. You're doing amazing. I love you. Bye bye." I love left flowers for her, and when she came home, she got to see it after being there, having that a whole day, and she's like, this man. I'm like,
It's
I
adorable.
stand a man who loves his queen that much.
But yeah, really happy for Tavion and for Miles. They are our new NXT Tag Champs. Very interested to see where they go. But moving on. So Izzy is not done with Lizzie, and Sean Spears comes in and lets the calling know that there's going to be a mixed tag team match next week. Lizzie is going to team up with Sean Spears to go up against Izzy and Nico. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of here for this. Let's go.
Yeah, I am too. A little bit. It's gonna be interesting. I honestly don't like the fact that they are bringing in. They're kind of like shoehorning Lizzie into this feud between those three, but you gotta have someone in there. Tatum, I don't think they would put Tatum with Sean because that just would not make sense at all. Past that, really, I got nothing. This was interesting. I'm very curious if it's going to turn into a 3-on-1 against Sean, because which was great. I loved how they ended the segment where Lizzie's like, "Hey, if things go sideways, you're going to be faced on a 3-on-1," and he's like, "Smart girl," and that's how they ended. I'm like, yeah, obviously she's smart. She's been doing this for a while. She's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so that is set for next week. After this, though, this was a little funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god, I died when this happened.
Jackson's face right here is everything. It's just like,
it was like, I'm like, oh, she wants the chocolate.
And that is all we're gonna say on that, because moving on. You know what? A Common Collective. This was interesting. Common Collective. Keanu Carver does a backslide for pin for the win, not decimating EK, not throwing him into things, but I was like, very restrained, interesting direction for his character.
Yeah, I think that they're taking that approach where they've shown him as roid rage and just all anger and just bullying through everything, and now that they're kind of making him chill out and mellow and kind of like be calm and like analytic in a sense,
they're the
showing how scary he actually is, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, and this showed here, like, he didn't destroy EK, he didn't put nobody through a table, he didn't destroy the set, like, he just used his abilities and he beat EK. So I'm like, all right, Keanu, let's see where this goes. I loved it. So fun stuff. So unfortunately, Shiloh Hill lets us know that he is going to be away from NXT for a little bit. He has a fractured jaw, and he's going to be gone away for months. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's a bone right here. It starts with an M. I can't remember exactly. It's not mangioma or something like that. Which basically means if he blows through his nose, it starts leaking out,
which is not good.
No. And this whole because he posted this on, I believe, TikTok and on Instagram. I think I saw it on Instagram first. And no, I saw it on TikTok first because he shared it to his bulletin board. He spouts some really cool wrestling history in this, and that was like, okay, I'm glad you're okay and you're going to heal up a little. It sucks that happened, but holy shit, I got educated a little bit.
Yeah,
cool. I really liked this education that
I really did too. But speedy recovery to Shiloh as he takes some time away. And we look forward to his return when he comes back and he's ready to go. But until then, we move on. So, very interesting to see this. Robert Stone's on the phone with somebody who says that they're a free agent and that they can make their way to NXT next week. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I wonder who this going to be. But Stone kind of gets this done, talks to Cruz, reminds him of what, next week him and Grayson are going at it. Tristan Angels comes up after Stone leaves, talk to Cruz, say that, you've only been here for like 2-3 weeks and you're already fighting to challenge potentially challenge the champion. And meanwhile, guys like me have been here trying to work for that. And Cruz just tells Tristan, this is like, you've been here for 3 months. I've been working for a lot longer than you have, so zip it.
Yeah, he's literally been in and out of NXT for the last year. Shut the front door. And
That's
there's a
essentially what it was.
couple of rumors about who who the free agent is. One of which is, I believe, is Takaziri or Takahashi.
Hiromu Takahashi.
That's what it was, Takahashi. That's one of the rumors that he could be talking to. There's a lot of wild speculation that it could be Zilla Fatu, because they are lacking the Samoan diversity on NXT right now. I think the other one, some people are either being hopeful for or hinting at, might be Enzo, because he has been. There's been rumors that he's been spotted at the PC, but I don't think they would start Enzo back at NXT before bringing him back up. I think they would just have him and Cass come out together, even though Cass debuted on Monday. And he's fucking jacked. That boy, who is 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that, is
I forgot that it's been a long time for most people. I got to see him in AEW almost every other week. So I'm like, I haven't missed him that much because I continuously see him.
Yeah, he's looking good. I didn't like that he went at the Javon, but that's me. And now, granted, according to him, Javon was in the way. Dude, you had to come from the back. What the hell?
Whatever. So we're going to find out who could be popping up in NXT next week. So this is going to be interesting. So moving on, though, like I said, next week we do have a preview of what's to come for next week. Of course, number one contenders match for Tony D'Angelo's title, Cruz Montana versus Grayson Waller. We have an NXT Women's North American Championship match next week as Zarya defends her title against Ren Sinclair. We got a mixed tag team match with Shawn Spears and Lizzie Rain taking on Colleen. And then finally, after wanting to get his hands on him, Saquon and Deanna are going to be fighting too, which I foresee it not going the way it's supposed to and making a match made for Heatwave or something, like a street fight or something. So, fun stuff for next week.
This is going to be fun. I'm excited. I know there's going to be shenanigans in Saquon versus Dion. Obviously, there has to be. But it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna try and get off early that day, and
because as his title track says, I want to see Saquon.
Yeah, there's that. My brain farted out. Give me like 20 seconds. I have to get there at 4:00. Even though they don't start loading the buses until almost 5:30, I gotta get there at 4, so that way I can be in line waiting for to check in, so I can get. I want to get in my seat. I want to get front as close as possible, motherfucker.
Well, Godspeed, man. Hoping that happens to you. But let's get into this because, bitch, when I say girl, like, ooh, this match ruled.
I love underground matches. I'm not gonna lie to you. they're a lot of fun because it's not just the crowd that's into it. You got the everyone on the outside of the ring that's into it. It's a lot. It's not necessarily higher stakes than a normal match per se, but everything was. I okay. So in one of friends TikToks today, she actually called. I remember her name is Gray, but I keep slipping on her first name.
Kendall.
Thank you, Kendall. I don't know why. It's like, why do I want to say Riley? No, that's wrong. I want to say this. No, that's wrong. It's Gray. I know that, but what the fuck? Anyway, so she called Kendall while she was doing this TikTok and for the Ren QCC Wednesdays, or the Ren Wednesdays as she calls it. I guess I didn't have attention. Um, and Kendall's still like very dizzy, very out of it. She ruptured her eardrum really hard. Like that was massive. Um, I think there was supposed to be like an injury spot at one point, but it wasn't supposed to be that. That's why everything's a little kind of wonky, and they were trying to play it because she actually probably was dealing with a lot of dizziness from the rupture. That was scary. I'm just gonna say that right now. That was super scary. And that's one of the things I'm always concerned about with matches like these, because if you trip and fall, usually you can just you can catch yourself on the rope, but there's no rope there. You're going straight down to the floor to the stairs. Now, sometimes when everybody's on the outside, they can push you back in, but uh, with this, I think they were supposed to go down on that spot. Um, but I don't know what happened, make her eardrum rupture like that, but holy crap. I'm glad they didn't change cancel the match at that point or change it or anything, because it would have just cheapened what happened after. But this was I'm now upset that I wasn't there, because I remember I'm seeing my buddies TikToks and whatnot of what happened after the cameras went off, which is one of the reasons why I always wait until I'm like one of the last people out, so that way I can fucking see everything. Kind of like, but yeah, this was. I can't speak any more on these matches, because these are fucking amazing. I just wish the men would step up and fucking do one, because I've only since I've started watching NXT, there have, to my knowledge, there's only been 2 underground matches since I started watching, and they've both been women. And I'm like, guys, step the fuck up.
It would have been before your time. We had some men's underground matches, but they were before your time.
As I said, before my time.
Yeah, before your
And I'm
tenure
like,
here.
yes. I there's I'll save that for later. Yeah, this is obviously I'm upset that Lola lost, but I'm happy with it, because it didn't make her look weak.
No, and she's done. She's moving on up to main roster.
Yeah, and for those who didn't get to see the after, or who weren't present, Lola, basically would talk to the crowd, say, "Hey, I'm moving up to to main roster." I don't know, James. I would love to know where Tatum is. She either is on injury, or she's just
Taking a break, man.
Probably, yeah. Because I keep seeing she's doing like TikToks with flutes and whatnot, and it was great, because Lola came out, told her that she was moving up the main roster, and then out walks Damian Priest. I was like, motherfucker, I could have seen Damian Priest.
I know. And James, to answer your question, I think having Lola on Raw would definitely be what the women's division really needs right now. Because again, on Monday you had Becky and Stephanie return, so that already helps out to deal with the problem that we've been having with nobody really able to challenge Liv. And then you having Lola in that mid card where she could fight Raquel, and then her and Soul and Lyra and all of them. Like, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Lola should go to Raw, in my personal opinion. Raw definitely needs her. So,
Yeah.
but really happy for Lola. Kendall is still our NXT Women's Champion. Fantastic match all the way through. And yeah, that's the end of our NXT post show for this week. Looking forward to next week because it's a fun card, and hopefully Kilt here will be in the audience to witness it live.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm gonna talk to my supervisor next time I see her. And it's like, hey, I need to leave early on Tuesday. If I have to come work 6 to noon, I will come work 6 to noon. So that way I can get out of here and get over to watch wrestling because it's my wrestling week. I want to watch wrestling. And I want to I want to be nice. I want to be clean because I walk outside all day. And show up. I might buy a T-shirt this time. I don't know. We'll see who's in the merch booth. If it's one of the if it's one of the belly bandits, I'll probably go over there and buy something. But if it's not, then I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh, shout out to Tank, who proposed to his girlfriend, and now they're fiance.
Yes! Oh, I'm so happy for him.
They look cute.
They are adorable.
They are adorbs.
I can't wait to see what their wedding looks like. I can't wait to see what they show us of their honeymoon. Hopefully, only a little. I don't want to see your entire life. I just want to see some highlights. Give me some highlights. Tell me how it was.
They just got engaged, bro. Pump
Shut up.
Right.
Let me be happy. I didn't say they were gonna have babies already. I'm just saying I want to see the wedding. I want to see the honeymoon. Man. I'm excited for it. I just can't wait. Hopefully they don't do something like really silly and like write them completely the fuck off. Like have Hank and Tank break up. But
bro, they just got engaged. Hold the phone. Like, we don't need to have them break up yet.
No, I'm talking about Hank and Tank.
I was just like, look.
No, because I'm thinking about he wants to take time off of the honeymoon, so they'll do something
engaged,
where they
not married.
I was talking about the future.
Oh Lord. Anyways, we got to get out of here, man.
Yes, I'm gonna go do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably take a nap.
We got to get up on out of here. But thanks to everyone who made it to our show. Shout out to new homie James for chiming in too for a little bit there towards the end. But before we get on up out of here, just to let you know, later on tonight, we still got a couple more shows this week. Later on tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific, I am here with Papa Oso to talk about some CMLL. Then on Friday, I will be here to talk about some TNA because, girl, it seems we can't go without a week without news that somebody else has been asked and granted their release from the company. But we also have a new signing to talk about on Friday. And yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. From all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I'll catch you later in 2 hours to talk about some CMLL. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.